Welcome to HumanityWins.net. Please read the important disclaimer on your screen. All of the content provided is for entertainment purposes only. It should not be taken as medical or legal advice. Please contact your doctor or lawyer if you require such advice. Thank you. The show starts right now. Hello, welcome to this new episode of HumanityWins.net. And we have my friend Tony from London again on the show. Hello, Tony. Always a pleasure and an honor to have you here. Hello.
Hello. Same here, mate. Yeah, it's always good to talk with you.
Thank you, Tony. It's always great to have you. So we're discussing before recording with Tony and most of our guests. We really don't have specific topics before we start our chats, unless, like, for example, last time, Miklos or Adam prepared something, established, and we follow that line. But with Tony, how about we talk about something that just came out, because we're pre-recording this episode, but it's after an episode I already made about the obsession with the truth, and how I feel personally, feel really strong inside me that most of this obsession with the following the out there is so you don't follow the inside, okay? And your wisdom is inside you. I'm completely sure about that. It's not in the out there. That's knowledge. That's the difference. Basic difference between knowledge, the out there, and something you acquire, and wisdom, something you have already. Since you were created, you have all the wisdom you're ever going to need. Think about it logically. Why will God make you, like a video game, gain wisdom as you go? He gave it all inside you. It's only going to come to you as you mature and be able to handle it. Because if all the wisdom you have inside you comes to you from one moment to another, you could probably go crazy, and you wouldn't have the maturity to handle it. And that is the school of thought, one of the school of thoughts of what happened to, for example, the Atlantis, okay? That they basically uncovered their wisdom in some manner. Maybe they felt they were mature enough, and they couldn't handle it, okay? So it's very important we understand that, because it will be natural and human to say, okay, I have all the wisdom in the universe inside me. I want it right now, the 100%. So I create things with my mind. Yes, you are able to do travel to time. You're able to do all those things. They're going to come to you when you need it. Travel to time, there's restrictions there. We shouldn't do it. Again, that's maturity. It's going to come to you when you understand you shouldn't use it, okay? So sorry with the out there. I always go with you out there, and Adam, I love it that you guys allow me to be myself. And I always go with these things that are basically beyond mainstream knowledge. But coming back to Earth, Tony, let's start with the psychology that you feel of this thing that we need to belong to something, okay? We need to attach to something, religions and all that. Personally, I believe that comes from your brain, and that's something in the mind.
Yeah, I believe so too. I mean, knowing is exactly what you said. I believe it's inside. We know everything already. It's just experiencing life as it happens in the moment. We're equipped to do whatever we need to do. We'll figure it out. But the mind seems to want to hold on to something. But we know that already, so we don't need to hold it. It's like, I've just learned how to sharpen a stick into a spear. Or better write it down. Well, you learned it from nothing. Why do you need to write it down? It's like knowledge is acquisitive. I need to acquire it and hold it. So the mind is kind of like a hoarder of information. It likes to hold it and store it, and then refer back to it, and then also compare with someone else's knowledge. Oh, I've got more knowledge than you. How much knowledge you got? Oh, I'm better than you. It's all,
of course,
quite ego, and the ego comes, doesn't it?
Yes, that's very human. That's very human. This constant need to be comparing yourself to others. Yes.
Yeah, and we look at life as if it's a load of treasure we've got to hold and keep to ourselves, and out-compete other people. And like even property, is currency also feeds into that energy of money. Well, I've got the knowledge now. I'm smarter than that guy and that woman, so I need to have more money than them too. So it's like a mental greed, a mental insecurity too. So the insecurity comes when they don't have enough to prove their knowledge exists, that they prove they're better than somebody else. And then that comes into physical, material goods. So not only do they need to prove they're intellectually better, they need to prove that they're physically better by having more. So it's a crazy thing, the mind. It really does feed into this greed energy. I want more. I need more. I need to be better. I need to be on top of the pile. You know, the top of the pyramid, top dog, top cat, whatever. So yeah, I believe the mind is insecurity. It's insecurity and hoarding. If I could, that's what first comes to me. Is yeah, it hoards.
And what about and as I said on this episode and on all our episodes, chats with Tony and Adam and everyone, we truly give you our feelings, okay? And that's what we give you. It's our opinions or feelings. We are not extremely concerned that this is validated out there because it's not. And also we show you how you can have a cordial conversation with possibly different opinions. Because again, it's very difficult that Tony and I are gonna speak to you, and this goes with the subject, and it's gonna be basically the same thing, unless it's made on purpose artificially, okay? Every human being has a different story inside them. We're all equally beautiful. We're all equally deserving. We're all equally powerful. Trust me on that. No one is more powerful than others. But our story is completely different. So the moment in the line is completely different. So of course, the opinions and the feelings are going to be slightly or very different.
Yes.
And with this one, Tony, I want to ask you, unique, exactly. With this one, I want to ask you how much you feel also. Of course, we're going at a system that has been in control of us for thousands of years.
Yeah.
So out of experience, they probably have learned a few tricks. The poisoning of the mind, and it sounds awful, the word poison, but it's not the intention. Okay, it's not so you imagine your mind black or diseased. No. So you can imagine that the mind is something like a computer. So it depends on the program you put in. You can have a beautiful program, and you can have a horrible program. Okay, and it's up to you because you control your mind. Your mind doesn't control you. Okay, you are the boss of your mind. It's very important. When you allow whatever you think to control your life, think you're in trouble. You should revisit that. That's my suggestion. Again, you do, of course, you have free will. You do what you like. But the whole purpose of this episode is to discuss this, Tony, is how much you feel this perfect machinery in that sense, this perfect poisoning machinery poisons the minds of humanity.
Yeah, I believe the mind does a useful job in, it does navigate life. It can help in navigating life. So you may come up to a crossroads. I don't know, maybe something that you need to know, how to find water. So you could be near to death, but you're searching and you think, oh, dig a hole to see what happens. And then you find water. So you think, oh, that's valuable. I need to remember this. So the mind can use that later on. So that's a useful method to use. But then you can, in this society we live, there is information overload, and the amount of information we take on board, it's just a jumble, it's a mess. And we need to prioritize what's useful and what isn't. And I think too much of it is useless. It's distractive. It doesn't help us. What's the word? It's like it suffocates us. The knowledge is so much that we don't know, we can't see straight. But yeah, people need to really look at what's useful as opposed to what's egoic. What is, am I using it to show off, or am I using it for a good purpose? You know, what is the point of what I'm learning? Is there a purpose to it, or is it just to be better than somebody else? And what are my motivations? Like, what is motivating me? That's a good question to ask. I ask myself it often. You know, why am I doing this? Why am I, you know, maybe in an argument with someone on the street, road rage when I had a car, calling them names, and you know, it's just chaos. And you think, why did I need to say that? Or why did I need to prove myself? And then I analyze it. Okay, well, I didn't want to be in the wrong, and I didn't want to lose face that I was the bad driver. So, and it's hard to admit, sometimes I'm wrong. And that's a big part of why people use information to hide behind. They use information to hide behind so that it's like a barrier. You can't get at me because I'm going to throw this at you. You know, I've got information that outsmarts you, rather than saying, yeah, I'm sorry, I was wrong. You know, do you want a hand up? I help you up. Come on, you okay? Take care. Keep it simple. But we get defensive. Information, we hold it, and then we get defensive over it, and defensive of our little ivory tower we've built. It's like I'm impregnable.
Is it maybe, as you say, we get defensive, and this is out there. Watch out, this is not inside what I'm saying. This is in the out there, which I don't control. You think maybe it's defensive because it's our belief system that is being shaken. So when we hear something that doesn't align with our belief system, whatever that is, we discussed before recording about this continuous obsession with flat earth and how it's people that really go on that. But I'm talking the ones that really go out there on that. They're more defensive than even religious people. Okay, about that's the absolute truth. I remember someone, and it's not a knock on someone that I had a nice discussion through email, but it was impressive for me when he mentioned the only thing I know is the earth is flat. I don't know about that. The only thing I know is that God is my father and he's the source of everything. That's my thing. Maybe someone says you're full of it just by thinking that there's no God, because if there was God will intervene and there will be no killings here on earth and that. And I get in a rabbit hole doing that if I react, because I try to explain to them that God has to allow that, so his creation can mature. If he intervenes, it's like you being a father, always correcting your children. Don't do that, do this. So who's the one taking the decisions, the father or the child? It's the father. Okay, you have to allow your children to make mistakes, and the most thing you can do is suggest, is say, you mature, you think if you have done right. I'm not saying I'm a great father. I try to be a good father. Okay, but one of my oldest child, it was like 18 months ago, on his first semester of high school, it's by topic, by class. Let's call it like that. He had 6 classes, so he's 6 subjects, and he failed on 3 of the 6. Okay, he didn't put the effort. He put the same effort like in junior high school, secondary school. High school requires higher effort, and he totally dropped the ball. Okay, so one way of doing it is, you cannot go out of the house anymore. You cannot use your technology anymore. Your computer. You cannot see friends anymore. That's why you're doing it. Punishment. Okay. And my wife and I decided to have a good talk with him to say, did you understand that you failed? Okay. Did you understand you are going to have to put more effort the next semester? And yes, it was a very difficult conversation, but he understood he had failed, but he felt so bad and said, no, don't feel bad. You have to understand and mature it. And he has been great since, and he almost now is back to normal. As far as his classes, he had to do summer school and that. Yes. Have to put in the effort. Friends were out in vacation, he was there studying. Yes, you're repairing the mistakes of that. That's what I call maturing. Okay. Because at the end, that's what God sees us, that he gave us all the tools. He's there. Always you want to have a chat with God, you can have it. He's not going to respond in English or whatever. It's not that type of conversation. But whenever you feel like reach out to God, but he's not going to solve things for you. Okay. He is going to put breadcrumbs here and there so that can you put in the work to solve your issues. God, please, I want to win the lottery. Why you? Why should I take it to a child in Africa that is very hungry and is probably going to die out of hunger in the next few days to change his life? Why you? Okay. So you have to understand. That's what people say. If I pray, God is going to help me. I'm sorry, but it doesn't work that way. Okay, doesn't work that way. And that's when you get in a rabbit hole, trying to explain rationally things that cannot be explained rationally. So there are some of people that unfortunately they're going to have to change eventually. They're in a different moment in the line that they see God as an evil force or as a neutral force, saying he doesn't care. He doesn't care if the earth gets destroyed. And I see it differently. He cannot intervene. Okay, because if he intervenes, everything goes, his whole creation, then it becomes about him. And he's so beautiful that he made this creation about us. Okay. So we need to figure it out. We need to solve it. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about the rambling about God and that, but
No, it's good. I thought maybe God created us, this is us here, and God is inside us, he's within us all. So you may, depending on how you want to use words to describe it, but say he's a light, the light inside us. So he's constantly radiating light through us and the world to see from this point of view. So my life is just one of billions, trillions of lives that he's within. He's within each of us. So maybe he's just saying, well, I'm not getting involved. I'm watching from inside, watching every atom of you, I'm watching every thought, every activity, everything you do. But I created this instrument because I thought it's got all the tools to do what it needs to do. So I've made it, I've washed my hands of it, and now I'm just going to sit back and watch how this instrument gets on. And this next instrument, and Alex's instrument, and whoever else's instrument. And then it's not getting involved. So it's just witnessing its own creations. That's how my view on it. And that's the knowing. That's the knowing inside us. So
You're totally right. He's witnessing. And he did create a system. He did create some simple laws. I think we discussed them on the past episode with the laws of the universe.
Yeah.
And the one that takes care of the balancing is karma. And I also believe my feeling, I don't know anything, guys, because then I ask, how am I an authority? No, I never claim to be an authority on anything. What you get here is my feelings, my true feelings. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
If you don't align with them, that's perfectly fine. I hope they don't bother you. If they bother you, don't watch anymore. It's not something for you at this time. You're maybe higher above the line from me, and I'm going to get to your level someday, and maybe we're going to understand each other. And maybe I'm the one pulling you back. So if that's the case, please don't watch. But if this is at least entertaining to you, the karma system is the balancing act, because we're talking that everything you say, everything you think, everything you feel, everything you do gets into this karma thing, but it's not punishment. I go back to the example of my son. There's a way of doing it through punishment, and some feel is the only way to learn. Okay, some feel is the only way to learn. If you don't suffer, you're not going to learn. I disagree. Okay, I think the karma is understanding what we have done, of course, making corrections. I put the example of my son. He failed 3 classes. I saw a different effort immediately in the next semester. Of course, I was watching. Okay, if I didn't see the effort, I probably said he needs another chat. Okay, but I saw immediately the effort. I saw the adjustments. And I think that's karma. You make the adjustments. And I already shared, if you believe in past lives, if you don't, I'm sorry, take it as entertainment, science fiction. If you believe in past lives, I already shared that through my own free will, I decided to go and look for those past lives. And I was a beheader. Okay, awful. I don't know. I know that I'm not a beheader now. That's the only thing. Can I do any reparations to the families that I beheaded people many years ago? Couple of thousands of years ago? No. But I feel I cleared that karma. And if not, if you don't clear karma, if you keep making mistakes, that's what is called going rogue, going wrong. In the line, you're moving backwards. So life after life, you keep interfering with people, you keep defrauding people, you keep killing people, you keep abusing people. So you're going bad, until there's a moment, there's so much karma, you don't understand anything anymore. And that's what I believe has happened to our system, to our evildoers, to our controlling force, that they're so confused that they don't know how they're going to see the light anymore. And oh, by the way, that's the main reason I think they use us, we that are farther ahead on the line, to access the light, to access the divinity through us, through our own free will. And we give them to them through this poisoning of life. I'm sorry, it sounds awful, but poisoning of life, that since we're born, we are in this competition. Because if you think about it, why do you go to school? Not to be smart or anything like that. You go to school because eventually you want to go into college, because that's going to get you a good job, or you're going to found a company, and everything is about money. Then at the end, I'm sorry to say, but everything is about how much money you made, and that will give you a comfortable life or a non-comfortable life. That's it. That's the system. And of course, if money goes away, the system crumbles. That's why if scarcity goes away, the system crumbles. We need money because there's scarcity. Okay. If we could just be walking in a paradise like this planet is supposed to be, and get something from a tree or fish something, I mean, there's a food chain. That's the reality. Okay. I say, to be fair, there should be animals bigger than us that I'm sorry walking with you in London, and this animal eats me, and that's the end of my expression. That will be fair, okay? But we humans, of course, through our abuse consciousness, we are at the top of the food chain. Of course, artificially, okay? Because we're not the biggest and meanest animals on planet Earth. No. So sorry again. I'm in a rambling mode, but I hope everyone is enjoying it. But I think it goes back to this. They say we're in a matrix. There is a school of thought that we're like in a video game. Maybe not literally.
Yeah.
Where maybe you and I are not asleep with a headset, and it's not like that. But
No.
we are kind of in a matrix because everything, this reality, just lives through our brain.
Yeah.
The moment we let go, this reality dissolves. Do you see it as well? Maybe?
Yeah. I believe in what you said about the system. You described it perfectly, that money and jobs, college, comfortable life. There's a guy called Skinner, B.F. Skinner. He's a psychologist or an old, he was one of these secret society people. He's like Pavlov. But Skinner was the guy that said your environment dictates the behavior. It was into behaviorism. He said the environment will dictate the person's behavior or the animal's behavior. So if we was in an artificial, like this system now, everyone will be behaving according to the rules of the system. So we think, well, we need money, we better get a job. We need to learn another qualification. So our behavior is dictated by the environment we're in. So regardless of the environment, whether it's paradise or this system or futuristic system, the environment does to a certain extent dictate how we respond to it. So in a way, it's like predestined. We're already, what's the word? We're like channeled through certain paths without our, involvement. But we have the ability to see, well, this isn't working, or it's not right, or we can see a deeper meaning to it all, as opposed to some that can't and just follow. So I think that's what we've got intact. We're not lost and dazzled by it all. We're not sucked into it and lost, because we have a sense about us that says there's something that I'm not content here. I'm not happy here. This isn't what I want to do. So that element in us is the one thing that keeps us in the light. So whatever the matrix or environment, it will always dictate to a certain degree what we do, and inevitable. We're going to go a certain way. But part of us is the bit that keeps us sane, keeps us safe, keeps us aware. That no, my sixth sense is kicking in. I feel this is wrong. I don't know why, but this is not right. That knowing inside. So, yeah, I think people have lost touch with, also tying in with what you said about they ignore the warning signs, or they keep doing wrong after wrong. They're in the dark. So people that know and can sense without understanding it are here to say to those guys in the dark, look, there's a light. Look, come over here. This way.
Of course. They love that.
Because we can see, we can feel, not just see, we feel something is not right.
And you know what's happening? If you want to get the light again, what's happening is, yes, that's the fireworks. That's what they're showing. Yeah. But we're not following it anymore. We're not even looking at it anymore. And they are so concerned about that. This era, I shared when I think it was when I was last on Wake in the Future a few months ago, we're talking about the end of the world. I don't think the world is never going to end. There's going to be changes, okay? Yeah. And I think we're at an end of an era, okay? And is the new world going to be very different? I think it will. But even if it's very similar to this one, I think people are going to change in understanding that this poison idea of you basically are born to gain knowledge, to create money, to get money, to have wealth, to live a comfortable life. And also this idea of the last stage of your life, this pension idea. I get it a lot from my family in Italy, la pensione in Italian. Yeah. I know in the UK, in Europe in general, it's a big deal, the pension. I just read that in France, a couple of days ago, they have moved the age, and they constantly do that, from 62 to 64. In Italy, they have done it several times. I believe it was 50 something and 61 and 63. And right now I think it's up to 67, which some of my family members are my age say, I don't even know if I'm ever going to be in la pensione, in pension. Yeah. That last stage of your life that they kind of kick the can, the expression, kick the can to that age, saying you're going to enjoy life. You're going to get money in your bank account. You're going to do whatever you want because you don't have to work anymore, because now you get to rest. And it's not exactly like that. No. Most of the people in pensions are not they just survive basically. And they are, of course, that's the age when your body's at the last end of your physical expression. So it's very normal to be weak, sick, then feel bad, feel everything hurts. I remember an uncle telling me, there's an expression, Italian tiriamo avanti, which is basically we struggle along, but you know, everything hurts. I wake up and everything's hurting. And he was 70 something and he didn't pass longer than that. He said everything, my blood pressure is high. If I take salt, I feel bad. If I take sugar, I feel bad. They took alcohol from him. He had a condition on the liver and they took everything. So he went into soda, so at least, you know, he enjoys something. And you know, it's this notion of life is like that. Okay, so you have to make the best of it. And if you didn't make the best of it, then you're a failure according to the system. All of that, everything I just said, I think is going to be different in the new, in this era that is coming to an end, and this new era. I call it the new world. Some people take offense on that because they say it's a newish term that we're going to go into a fifth dimension. There's something to that. Again, it's being bastardized, it's being ridiculized, because there's something to that. Okay, doesn't mean that the fifth dimension is out there in the planets. No, it could be here on Earth, and it's just a richer reality, a reality that humans don't argue among themselves. There's no divisions. There's no saying, oh, you are darker than me, so you're less than me, or you are, you know, richer than me, so you are more than me, or you are smarter than me, so I'm less than you. No, there's going to be an understanding where all brothers and sisters, all equally deserving, beautiful, powerful, and at the end, we're going to magically live all together in peace and working without being worried how much I'm going to be paid, my benefit for me, the ego, again, the ego center. Okay, if I do something, I need to get paid. It's my time. No, you're going to do some things and the system itself is going to work out that you're going to be fine. And you're going to be equally fine to everyone else. And that's the bastardized version, is the artificial version. Okay, of course they do that. Tony, think about it. Of course they're going to do that. They know where we're heading. So they offer their bastardized version saying, hey, and you're even not all day or play video games. Basically, we're just going to pay you to breathe. No, that's not the new world. Okay, we're going to put in the work too. And again, we're going to transcend these ideas that everything is physical, that you need to sweat. I disagree with this idea that we need to sweat. If you're not sweating, you're not working. No, maybe through your heart, you're going to just pour light into humanity and things are going to like come out of the ground. And that's working because you're giving your light to humanity without any concern if that light is going to come back to you. Okay. So that's why hate doesn't have a place there. That's why hating the system doesn't have a place. We need to send the system for light. And my feeling is they're going to leave because then they're so confused that they're going to find, it's like a bully. Okay. What happens with a bully when it doesn't work anymore with you? The bully goes and searches for another victim. Yes, that's what it does. He leaves you alone and he goes, he's not going to destroy you. It's not working anymore with this victim. I need to look for another victim. That's who I am. But you mustn't hate the bully. We mustn't be concerned about that. The karma system, sorry?
Defend yourself.
No, yes, the bully maybe it's a bad analogy, but I'm talking about the system. We mustn't be concerned what's going. Just allow them to live. And this whole idea of where jail, I disagree, Tony. I disagree.
It's still their system, isn't it?
Yes, we shouldn't be. I mean, we're better than that. We're better than that. Why do you want to pay suffering with suffering? Fight fire with fire. We're better than that. Allow the karma system to work. Trust the process. Let yourself go. Believe me, whatever they are done, they are going to have not to pay for it. They're going to have to clear it, which is different. They're going to have to mature it, understand it, forgive themselves. That's the worst. That's not the worst. That's the most difficult thing to do. Forgive yourself.
Sure.
Carlos Vela calls it embracing your demons. I already shared this a few times that he has shared that he was. Whenever you go into past lives, trust me, I'm sorry for everyone hearing, but you're gonna find some bad stuff. There's the very good, there's the good, there's the not so bad, there's the bad, and then there's the horrible. Okay. Horrible.
It's not easy to face it.
Horrible. And trust me, that's why they say you should go easy on that, on your history. That's why it doesn't come to you all in one, because you can go out of your mind, really. It comes to you in flashes. and a lot is through dreams. Okay, so sometimes if you're
Right.
having strange dreams, nasty dreams, maybe you're
Yeah.
remembering a past life
Mhm.
that your unconscious is
Yeah.
telling you need to clear it because it's
Yeah.
still on you. Karma is like a backpack. It's
Sure.
infinite in size,
Yeah.
but it's a backpack. Okay, so I kill someone, it goes to a backpack. Okay, so I defrauded someone, it goes to, so I abuse someone, it goes to a backpack. So I
Oh,
whatever. So and then the backpack gets heavy. Okay, gets heavy,
in
and
your
you need to eventually face it. Okay,
Yeah.
and the evildoers, their backpack is huge, and they don't even know where to start. Okay, so let's send them more light and hope, because the creation,
Yeah.
it's infinite in time, it's infinite in size, so speed has to be infinite. It's just rational. And what happens is God is going to wait forever for this everyone to get it. So
Yeah.
we're eventually on his creation, his vision, that we're all just beautiful beings out there beaming out love. And just imagine like a pinball machine. You remember those? That the ball goes and it bounces back, that no one wants it. So love love could be like that. We beam out love, we're infinite inside with love. And it's just bouncing around, making this beautiful reality. Okay. No one is trying to screw no one over. We're not looking for victims. We're not, everyone is just happy and like that. Is there gonna be someone higher than? No, that's gonna disappear. Just think about, because think about it, we're just equal, Tony. We're just equally beautiful spirits. It doesn't matter if you are from Australia or whatever you have done, whatever you think you have done, that you're superior to others because you know you have a little bit more knowledge. Maybe you have read a little bit. That doesn't make you special. I'm sorry about that. That doesn't make you special at all.
No, of course not. But yeah,
so I'm very rambling today. Okay.
That's good. It's good stuff. Yeah, the light within us, those that can sense that something's not right. We're made this way. We can't help it. We're born this way. This is who we are. We're not going to refuse to acknowledge this world's no good. We're going to say it. This is the strength we have, and that light is for other people to see as an example. So they may want to say, "Oh, yeah, you're an idiot. Go away, go away." But there would be a point in their life when they need to face themselves and acknowledge this isn't working for me anymore. You know, I'm drinking too much. I'm taking drugs. I'm having affairs. I'm violent. I'm losing my temper all the time. Well, bills are coming in. I'll be homeless next week. Then they're going to have to find, oh, it's me. It's not other people. I need to fix me. And that's the last thing they want to look at is their self. They don't want to say, like I said earlier about people, my motivations. What is it about me that made me have road rage or lose my temper with someone? Why did I do that? And it's that looking inward and questioning ourselves. That's where the answers are. And it's not easy. That's the hard part. We can't just, oh, it's you over there, it's your fault, it's you, you're the problem. It's everyone else but us. And I think if we can turn it around to, what am I doing in this picture? What part am I playing in this picture? What influence am I putting out? That's where the answers are. Look at like our demons, how Klaus Werner said. Look at our demons. Because if we don't look at our demons or our motivations, our selfishness, our greed, passing the buck, it's going to carry on playing out for us. It's going to continue living through us like the monkey on our back, you know, riding us into this chaos and that chaos, because we're not looking at it. We don't turn around and say, oi, come here.
Exactly. Sorry to interrupt you, but exactly that is karma, Tom. Looking at your backpack. Okay? Yeah, and it's a perfect metaphor to use a monkey, or it's right there with you.
Yeah.
And it's maybe not gonna bother you in the sense of it's a weight that you feel. No, it's gonna be there creeping, okay? You eventually have to clear your demons. That's the process of maturing. That's the process of growing. And as you clear your demons, as you mature, the wisdom is going to open to you. Don't think of it as a prize, because then we go about it the wrong way. That, okay, so how do I get my wisdom on top, which is going to allow me to be more powerful than, no, you're going about it the wrong way. The wisdom is going to open to you as you mature, as you clear your karma, okay?
Behavior.
You become more humble, you become more understanding that we're all these beautiful beings that really, humble. I hate it when New Age gets bastardized on this selfish movement. I'm not saying New Age is great, okay? I don't even follow the main actors of New Age.
Yeah.
For me, it's such a pity that these concepts get abused, and
Yeah.
I blame a lot the Gaia channel, which I think is by the system. It's infiltrated by the system.
Sure. Okay.
Deepak Chopra and all of these people.
Yeah.
That they misunderstand that, okay, you meditate and you become this great being and you're going to ascend into this dimension. Everything going about it the wrong way. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just basically discovering this story. And just recently came to me, I was discussing with someone and he shared very interesting stuff, talking about knowledge, because this is by someone else, but this resonated with me.
Yeah.
As I was reading, this totally resonated with me. I always share that I believe the story of Jesus Christ. I believe the story of the Prophet Muhammad, and many other similar stories that were taken, same as the New Age movement, and they were, excuse me, the word, bastardized. Okay, they were. What's bastardized is they're modified. They're modified to fit a narrative.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, the word bastardized sounds awful, but that's what I mean. They were modified to fit a narrative.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the real story of Jesus Christ and how the message is. I already heard it many times that the original message of Jesus Christ was exactly what we're talking right here, Tony.
Yeah.
It's a message of love, of saying God is within you. And the language, and I'm trying to remember in my brain right now, I know you know it, the Amharic, or the original language that God will speak. Jesus Christ will speak. Aramaic, yes. That translations into so many languages, and the comparisons that they say originally Jesus Christ said God is within you, not within me. Okay, and that's how. Just think about it.
Like,
will a God, will someone so advanced as Jesus Christ will come down and say, okay, the way is through me? That we're starting the wrong way. No, he said God is within you and within all of us.
Yeah.
Okay. And the only thing you need to do is discover it.
Yeah.
Discover you are not this. Okay. You are not this reality. Yeah. You are whatever is inside you. You have the universe inside you. You have God inside you. You have your connection to God inside you. And yes, God is inside you. But then the New Age gets bastardized. I'm not going to use the word, because someone could take some. Is modified to fit an agenda. To say, oh, so now we are our own gods. No, who's saying that? Who's saying that? That's why I prefer to use your divine connection. So we don't claim that we are gods, but we are sons of God. Yeah. And he's not going to create any lesser beings. It's like saying that your child is less than you. And in theory, yes, we are all gods, all of us. So we're not our own God. We're not the creators of the universe. We are just part of something, part of the one, part of the creator. Yes. Yeah. And that was the message, the true message of Jesus Christ. And the Prophet Muhammad, basically similar messages. Okay. Yeah. But they get twisted into, no, I'm the savior. Yeah. I pay for your sins. Control. That's the mainstream story of Jesus Christ. I pay for your sins, so you're fine. You go ahead and sin, because at the end, if you repent, you're fine. And if you believe in Jesus Christ and this story of Jesus Christ. Okay? That's you think about it, sounds very convenient, no? Sounds very convenient. Like Tony on his first appearances in Wake in the Future, Tony from Sayulita, Mexico. He mentioned, you're there driving your Mercedes, like, hey, I'm great, I'm going to heaven because I believe in Jesus Christ, but I can do whatever. Basically, I can screw people over, I can, defraud people, I can, because we can all agree that people that make a lot of money doesn't make sense. There's something there. They defrauded something, they screw over something, they screw employees over, they affected the environment, they paid a bribe, something. People that I'm talking that make a lot of money. Some of them, there's this knowledge or this school of thought, and some of them were others. Okay, they're basically placeholders. Okay, they gave them all the money to start this huge company. So there was never they were going to make it. No, it was set that they were going to. So they were already implanted. They're just employees of a system. Okay. Yeah. So
keep it going.
So if you see how convenient, I can do whatever I want. Yeah. Because I believe in Jesus Christ, my Savior. Yeah. He's gonna, one, save me, and two, I get to do whatever I want. Then I just repent before dying, and I'm going to heaven.
Nah, that don't make sense. Don't even feel right.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
No, not at all. But people have been diverted. They took down
and we're gonna get some. I mean, at least one comment, I think, or I'm gonna get an email of people saying, how are you there? No, please, this with all respect to whatever you want to believe, because at the end, these are just suggestions. You believe whatever you want. If you believe that's the way out, if you believe that's then you go right ahead. I mean, no one is telling you. I get this sense, when I hear the word destruction is not in the cards. No one is going to get destroyed. It's just you're going to go about it for thousands of years, millions of years, until eventually you mature and you become something else. I'm totally convinced of that. So I see no harm if you want to believe in the devil, in Satan, in whatever you want. If you're a Satanist, that's a stage. You're going to change. Eventually you're going to notice that's not the thing. Okay?
Yeah. I think the question is like, why do they do what they do? Why do people do what they do? The motivation is hidden. It's like it's not in view. You can't see it because it's behind. It's in their intentions. So I would say leave people, anyone commenting, anyone watching this, everyone else outside, everybody, ask yourself, why am I doing this every moment of the day? And ask yourself earnestly, with open ears, open mind, why am I doing this? What's it, what is in it for me? Why am I doing this? What am I getting out of this? And is it good? That's what I think is the answer. Check yourself before you come off autopilot. Switch off autopilot and start looking at what you're doing and question the monkey on your back, because this thing's running your life,
Yes. Well, yes, the monkey, I agree. And this thing is running your life. This thing is running the computer. The computer is like you have a laptop or a desktop or whatever your phone is running your life. Think about the computer. That is just a tool. As you say, a valuable tool. Without the computer, we couldn't traverse this reality very much. Okay, we need it. It's for a reason. Okay, but we allow the program gets a virus. I know I call it poisoning of the mind, but it's a metaphor. Okay, you think about it, and that's why it takes an effort really to continuously clear, kind of purge the mind of everything you go and acquire. You watch TV, you're acquiring stuff. You watch whatever video platform, you're acquiring stuff. You talk to people, you're acquiring stuff. So it takes effort just to basically say, thanks, but I'm not going to allow anything you say to me to control. Okay.
You've got to be aware, haven't you? Be aware.
Yes.
I've got a great example, actually. It's a personal example. Many years ago, when I quit drink, one of the times I quit, because I fell off the wagon a few times. But the very first time I quit drink, I was in a flat I was in, and I'd got home from hospital, and I'd been in there for a little while, and I thought, I've quit drink. So I was sitting on my chair indoors, feeling all proud of myself, and then a voice in my head, I thought it was me. A thought came, and it said, well done, great, well done, you've done well. Now go to the off license and celebrate. So I'm sitting there thinking, that's a great idea. So what did I do? I went to the shop and bought 6 cans of strong lager and got, pissed out of my head on that night. So this is the mind. It's telling me, I just quit drink. So the mind says, go and celebrate, well done. And I followed it to the shop. And then I got drunk because the mind told, that's the programming.
Yes.
So never.
Yes, that's the programming. It's we can say it's your evil inside you, and the story of the angel and the devil in you. Like one is here, one is that. Maybe one is the heart, maybe one is the brain. Again, the brain is a valuable tool, but it's nothing more than a tool to me. Okay. It's like my eyes controlling me, or my mouth controlling me, or my ears, or my right hand, or whatever. It's a valuable tool of your physical body. By the way, I don't think I'm wrong, that when you physically die, and I use air quotes, that's why I mentioned physically die. You never die. But physically, yes, you die. Your brain stays, or the brain goes with you. I ask. When you see a corpse, it's without a brain, and the brain, I mean, if it was that important, maybe you take it with you. No. And the knowledge stays there, okay? All the books you read, all the things about flat earth, everything stays there. Okay. I've changed my tune on that, because a year ago I said maybe some of the knowledge, because I saw it as a learning process, gets converted to wisdom. No, I've changed my tune on that. I'm now convinced that nothing that we learn here goes on. That's why you don't remember anything, by the way. Other reasons. Everything you have is already inside you.
You already have it,
You already have it. All the wisdom you're ever going to need. Okay. The knowledge is great. As you say, it's a valuable tool to traverse this reality. If you have skills or something you do for work, for money, for entertainment, it's not only for money, it's good to have. Also,
Yeah.
it allows us to try to communicate, because we we don't communicate through telepathy, which is a more advanced way of communication. Like you and I just thinking and being in communication. No, we use our mouths, we use our ears, okay?
Yeah.
And we use our hands to write, and we use many things. That
Yeah.
everything comes from the brain. We have to learn that stuff. Okay, that's the process as you were growing up, and going to school and learning to read and learning to write. Yes, that's valuable. Nothing more to that. It's valuable. That's it. That's not the most important thing, and it certainly shouldn't control you.
No.
And it's certainly not something. Nothing of that is related to the spirit. The spirit without the body can communicate in many ways beyond our understanding, and can do things beyond our. We're not even going to imagine what it's able to do.
Sure.
And here, if you think about it, and I just read a passage actually in the Bible, but because I saw this movie, which very powerful movie, The Whale. Have you heard about it? This very overweight, The Whale. It was very overweight person that he's dying because of. I'm talking grossly overweight, and he has heart failure basically, and he's dying within the next few days, and he's trying to reestablish a relationship with his daughter, okay, which he has seen for a long while. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but there's a scene of the movie that they share a passage in the Bible about the flesh and the spirit. And they're trying, this person that is trying apparently to help this Christian person that goes house to house, and you know what I'm talking about, this type of people that go house to house to try to share the Bible and stuff like that.
Jehovah's Witness?
Yes. No, it was not a Jehovah's, it's similar. Okay.
Similar, yeah.
He shares, I found it. This is what you need to learn before to die, because you prefer the flesh. Now you need to shift to the spirit. No. And I was like, it was so disappointing again, this concept that the flesh is if he was skinny, then he did a good job. I mean, what's
no, it's silly.
For me it was so disappointing, this knowledge of religion that for example you shouldn't have sex because then you're following the blood. No.
Right.
No. That's the flesh is that. It's being, for example, you could be in church and be upset and be divisive and don't love your brother and sister, and for example say, we Christians are better than Muslims, it's worse, it's saint, but you could be skinny and very well taken, and you don't have sex, and you don't drink alcohol, and you don't eat meat, and what is that? I mean, that moving from the flesh to the spirit is behaving like a spirit, seeing everyone equal, seeing everyone is deserving and loving. Even this person that he was grossly, by mainstream standards, he even asked, am I disgusting? And the person said, yes, you're disgusting. No, you're equal. You're equally beautiful. But to make this sense of how you take care of the flesh, I don't like it when people call it the temple. What temple?
Sure. Yeah.
What temple? When we physically die, the temple is going to go back. It should go back to the elements.
Maybe it houses the spirit. Maybe it houses the spirit.
No, the body. That's loving the flesh. Saying that your body, you should take care of it because it's your temple. No, you should take good care of it because it helps you traverse this reality. That's it. That's it. But for you to be beautiful, for example, do operations, women and their body, and they get because it's your temple. No, that's ego. That's that's loving.
Excessively, though. Yes.
No, it's not excessively. And there's this. I don't know this. I fight it every time because I take just a basic care of my body. I mean, and yes, of course, will I do better? Of course, but it's not a concern to me. It's truly not a concern to me. Okay, so whatever I am, and I love myself, so I don't have a problem with that. So when you're constantly tweaking your body, and people that go to the gym every January, which is the month that gyms get huge subscriptions because everyone New Year's or new year, new man, new woman, new body.
That's it.
It's fine. It's the same with the knowledge. It's the same thing with the knowledge. Okay, it's basically the same. It's fine to read. It's fine to learn. But when it controls you, when it becomes the most important thing, there is something wrong there. It's fine to take care of your body. It's fine to have a nice body, but when it becomes an obsession, when it becomes like your temple, there's something wrong. Okay.
Yeah, they're missing out the main part. They're missing out on the goodness. They're missing out the awareness of what they're doing and why they're doing it. Is it for the benefit of other people? Or is it just for me? Is it selfish me, or is it helping others? That's what that does to people. Oh, my body looks good. I'm intelligent. good. I don't care about anyone else. No, that's the opposite way around. It's all about the system promotes that though, doesn't it? It promotes selfishness.
Of course. All of the things we discuss here, we question on our chats. Of course, Tony, the system is the promoter, but that doesn't make us a victim. Okay, I think that makes us aware that is all through our own free will. If right now you and I are participating on these realities through our own free will, okay, you think about it.
Yeah,
we shouldn't complain. We need to change it, and we change it by making something new, by leaving the old, the end of an era, leaving the old. And I'm very happy on the episode that came out on Monday. Remember, they were pre-recording, but this episode is on Wednesday, and on this 2 days ago came out the episode you already watched about this obsession with the truth. But we are willing participants of this. Okay.
Yeah.
So, of course, the question will be: so how do I get out? Well, you don't get out on your own. Okay. Unless you want to go out there on the wilderness and try to live through the elements. Yes, that's a possibility, try it.
Yeah.
But if not, we're willing participants, we're not victims, okay? We need to change it by slowly not taking the fireworks from the system.
Yeah.
There's a balloon, there's a UFO, there's a war, there's whatever. I'm not watching anymore. I'm not caring anymore. Okay. I know it's all BS. I know it's all a lie. Okay, so
it's a great quote, Alex. It's a great quote. I think Buddha. It was be in the world, but not of it. So you can be in this world, but you don't have to adopt its values.
Exactly. You can do that. You can do that.
You can do that.
You can do that, and that's what we're preaching here. Air quotes preaching, suggesting.
For some people, that's a step.
You look into you. You live the moment.
Yeah.
You unpoison your mind, run an antivirus on your mind and take the viruses out. Unpoison your mind, clean your mind constantly, because it's programmed to be poisoned. Okay.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Okay. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And I wanna mention that I'm a human, same as everyone watching, and I get my buttons pushed eventually every week, every twice a month or something.
Yeah.
And it takes, and sometimes I fail, and sometimes I'm able to try to unpoison that. Okay.
Yeah.
When I read comments on videos, when I do that, it takes a lot, really takes a conscious effort not to allow that, because the poison immediately enters. It's not that you're going to be firewalled. Okay. The mind is programmed to be poisoned. They say future generations of humans are going to have a huge head and a smaller body, because evolution the minus is just more, it's going to become bigger. So I disagree.
Okay.
It doesn't matter the size. One thing this big could be extremely wise, and one thing the size of a building could be extremely ignorant. Okay. So you think about it, all of your DNA is in every cell. And it's calculated, it's terabytes of information on every cell you have. So just think about it. It's not about sizes. That's again science, the assumptions. I think we're gonna make better use of our mind. We're gonna be like Buddhism says, that asks if you see the Buddha, kill him, but it's not a horrible expression. It's basically always be clear of the moment. Don't allow anything to poison you. That's the message again.
From Buddhism.
Be in the moment. Don't allow what you know is the past. What is coming is the future. You don't control it. So why worry about it? And the past, forget about it. So you're solely in the moment. So I see someone from Somalia. I don't know anything. I just love him as my brother or sister. Okay. But if I allow the poison of the history, say, no, this person, is whatever, he's gonna steal, maybe he's gonna rob me because he's poor from Africa or something. It's all of that I'm allowing to make to poison our brain, and then your heart cannot be poisoned. But
we should make this mind should be the slave, not the master.
Yes, of course. Beautiful, Tony. That's the whole point of this episode, I think. It's a tool, it's a slave. No, it's slave has a bad connotation, but you're totally right. You are the boss of the mind.
Yeah, this is the boss, the heart, the soul.
Yes, you are the boss of the mind.
This is the servant.
Yes.
Did you see me do this? I just saw a fly, no little green fly.
No, I didn't see it, sorry.
I've got a plant, I've got a little green fly, I just swatted it away. It just reminded me, as you were saying, be present as well. The philosophy class I do, I'll credit the tutor, Stephen. I won't say his last name. he gave an analogy of being present in the moment. And that fly reminded me, the little green fly. He said, imagine you're driving your car down the motorway at 70 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden a bug hits the windscreen. So you notice it. Oh yeah, okay. And then another one. Now you've got 10 bugs on the windscreen, but you're still trying to focus on the road. Faults are like the bugs. He said, if you keep looking at the bugs, you're going to crash your car. You're not present. You're not in the moment. So you put the wipers on, and then they all squash, and then you can't see anything. So you've got to pull over. So then you clean the windscreen with a rag.
That's always a bad idea when you have when you're driving in a highway, especially.
Yeah.
And you start getting bugs and you try to clean it. It's usually a bad idea. Yes,
Exactly.
But it's a great analogy because yes, of course, you are concentrate on other things, concentrate on the road, concentrate on the moment. Okay?
Exactly, in the moment.
Because you're gonna get fireworks all over the place. If you turn out the TV, you're gonna get more, and if you go into platforms, you're gonna get more. That's why I say don't take anything you get. And then we're not saying we're special. It's the same thing. If this resonates with you, if this is entertaining, both neutral and good, that's perfectly fine. If you listen to this video and after you finish, you have a bad taste in your mouth, then we're just in different places. I don't know. There's no good or bad. Okay, just different, because there's really not good or bad. There's just we're in different places and
learn what you can.
Exactly. So Tony, I think we have gone for a while. I'm not sure how much, but whatever it is, it's going to be in one episode. So do you have anything for closing?
No, I think you've said it. When you're rambling, you've said everything. I mean, all the good, you got all the good stuff.
No.
You took all the good stuff.
No. Sometimes, yes, and we kind of discuss it. There's no problem. We share it on the recorded part, but we kind of discuss it off camera. That you're watching with really Tony and I and all the guests and all the guys from Wake in the Future, Joel and Pat and everything. We speak up in a way, or feelings. That's what you're getting, and it's also for our benefit. We need to speak up, and that's why I invite. If you listening have the need to speak up, there's something there. Okay, there's something there, and if you don't have a clue how to do it, please send me an email. I'll get you on the right way through my experience. It's not that I'm special, just help you to get a channel, help you how can you record in your PC or your phone even. But it's important that we speak up. I think.
Oh, one thing to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do like the way you talk because, I was going to say earlier, I forgot, but now I've said it. Authentic. What I get from you is you're authentic, and that's what I respond to. So you could be eloquent and intelligent, but you're not. The spark isn't there. You haven't got the spark of truth. And I think being authentic, whether you're slow or bright or whatever you are, as long as you're authentic, there's so much power in that. That is something. There's something in there anyway. But authentic, be authentic.
Thank you, Tony, and I agree. I that's why I say the only thing you can get here. I don't know if there are facts. Some of the stuff eventually has to be resonate with facts, but you get what I'm feeling. Okay, so my suggestion for everyone starting a channel is don't try to mimic other things. Don't try to prepare your episode in a way like a speech. Everything that's going through your brain, you're thinking it. Maybe you're thinking it too much. Maybe just start speaking. And if you don't like your face to show up, start speaking with an image on the screen. Even you can do it on your phone. I mean, there are ways to do that. It's not really complicated. You can get your phone and record and shoot it to an image out there, to the sky out there, your window, and just start speaking. Or start speaking this. Doesn't matter what you say. And trust me, it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out. I just had an episode of the rebuilding. And I watched this morning again. So I tried to rewatch my older episodes to remember. So in the comments, I can also be factual on what was told. It was an out there episode about the Anunnaki and their search for gold. Okay, so it was UFO related, aliens related. But I listening to it. I remember I recorded it out there by the sea on my phone, the audio. Okay, and. When I went for 5-7 minutes, I didn't have anything in front of me. Okay, it was me, my phone, and hit record. Okay,
that's it.
So so I said, really, it's a validation for me that the best way is just rumble, just give out your feelings. It doesn't matter how it comes out. If you speak fast or slow, if you make mistakes, even it doesn't matter. Okay, for me, that's much more authentic than something so scripted and prepared and you know, oh, but it's very factual.
But are they mistakes?
We all make mistakes. So
No,
when I make, for example, sorry,
but are they mistakes?
no. It's some people make a point of that. They're looking for the mistake to discredit everything. Okay, and we had a poster in Wake in the Future that he was like that. Oh, you mentioned this and that and that. Okay, but how about everything else? Did you totally ignore it? I mean, were you looking for the mistake? So, for example, I do a lot of episodes on aviation, and yes, I maybe mentioned speeds and heights. The aircraft was going this speed. It's from my memory. Okay, so maybe I make a little mistake here and there. Is it really important if I said the aircraft was going 40,000 feet, 38,000 feet? But some make an argument of that. I remember someone on an email conversation, which for me was those moments I get a little bit sad that people are still like that. He said, I have no endurance. It was a conversation in Spanish, and translating it. I have no endurance for stupidity. Like basically saying, if someone says, and I remember what it was that I made a mistake on something on an episode. Okay, I don't remember right now, but I put an image that was not there. I made a mistake.
It sounds like he's projecting. He's projecting. It's more about him than it is about what you said.
Yes, I didn't take any offense, Tony. I want to clarify, and it was not. And I said my apology for the mistake. But he didn't say, of course, how can you have a good conversation? He's basically calling me stupid. No, he wasn't calling me stupid. He basically said, you know what? It's just when I have a conversation with someone and it's not an intelligent conversation, then I have no patience for stupidity. Something like that. It's no endurance. I have no patience for stupidity.
His attitude is bad.
Sorry?
His attitude is wrong.
I didn't hear.
His attitude is wrong.
Okay, no, I didn't catch that.
His attitude.
Attitude, yeah, sorry about that. Attitude.
Yeah.
I was hearing Asian. I don't know why. Sorry about that, Tony. Well, Tony, no, it just makes me sad. I don't try to. I really don't try to judge anyone, but it just makes me sad because I feel he's not. He's the poisoning of the system. Okay. Again, this and it goes back to because that was the same thing. Basically, harmful. They were stupid. Have they done any tests in a lab? Remember that they were saying those sort of things.
Oh yeah.
Without testing, okay. Shut up.
Well, it's changed their mind now.
So for me, again, there's nothing wrong because if you're watching, we haven't spoken in a while, but I use that an example that I have no patience for stupidity, in the sense that maybe something we need to revisit, that we can have meaningful conversations with everyone if we pick the right things. Okay. If we pick the right and we liberate ourselves from this notion that we have to be right all the time and everything the conversation has, just embrace it. Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay. All right, Tony. Thank you very much. Anything else on closing?
No, enjoyed it. It's been great. Good chat.
I just want to say something that I was thinking as I forgot through the episode. I just want to send a shout out to our friends from Wake in the Future. They have a shop called Awaken, and you have to put attire.com or just put on your search engine Awaken Attire, and you're going to find it. Or if you haven't done so, subscribe to Wake in the Future. I don't include any links on the show notes anymore because I'm very wary of the platforms taking it the wrong way. But if you email me, I'll send you the link, or just search on BitChute, on Odyssey, and on Rumble, Wake in the Future, you're going to find it. And there's a link to awaken-attire.com shop. And as you can see, Tony has a shirt.
Yeah.
Think for yourself, which was basically the idea of this show.
Yes.
That whatever in the out there is by the out there, is by someone else. This video for you is the out there. Okay. Whatever Tony and I said, you decided there's something, but if you decide there's something, you have to go here, pass it through your heart. If there's a ring in there, there's something there. There's nothing, and it was entertaining. There's nothing wrong with that. If it goes through there and there's a bad feeling, then we're in a different moment. Okay, we suggest that you go your own way. We will go our own way, and it's perfectly fine. Thank you everyone for watching. Please stay for the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds of the show, this is what I share with you, my inner feelings. And as I share on these latest episodes, we have been gaining, fortunately, subscribers, particularly on BitChute. So that if you are a new subscriber, please one time watch the end of the show. I understand after 1 or 2 times it's enough, but one time watch it, because I share with you everything I try to share on all my episodes. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover yourself. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and guidance. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover yourself? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to yourself and the universe. Request to be connected and ask, who am I? Where do I come from? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about those realities start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering yourself equals to breaking your matrix. Your self-imposed limits will fall, and you will be ready to serve humanity and help break this spell and deception on us. But you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will start a new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, loss, envy, violence, justice, true violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only the evildoers and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Please relax and enjoy life. When everyone breaks their own matrix, humanity through our community consciousness will break the final spell. The new world will start and everything will gradually fall. Governments, hierarchies, and the medical and financial system will go from scarcity to abundance for all. Thank you very much for watching. Please share this episode. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@humanitywins.net. Please be sure to check out our friends from Waking the Future and their awaken-attire.com shop. They gave me my first opportunity to speak about this, and I will be forever grateful. Link to their channel and shop on the show notes. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.humanitywins.net. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very nice day.